One of them is Bharat Dynamics. It has continued to show an up move, and it has had a very, very good year as well. But to take us through what we can expect going forward, the order book, the kind of products that the company is looking towards in focus over the next 1 year, we are in conversation with A. Madhavarao. He's the Chairman and Managing Director of the company. Mr. Madhavarao, good morning. Thank you so much for taking the time out. My first question is to do with your outlook for the upcoming year. Now, while revenues were subdued for FY24, your operational standards, they grew quite a bit. So, even if you consider the operational profits, there was an expansion in margins, a substantial expansion in margins, and your net profit on a year-on-year basis rose by well over 74%. The question here is that does the top line also catch up substantially, and what could FY25 mean for a company like you when it comes to financial performance?
Thank you very much, firstly, and the question that you've asked with respect to the revenues for the coming year, FY25, I can tell you that we're looking at a growth of about 20-25% growth in the revenue also. And we would sustain in the profit margin, we will be between 15 to 20%.
So the next question then is, what is your current order book at the moment, and how much of your current order book are you expecting to execute? So if you could also give us some timelines on deliverables, what sort of deliveries are we expecting the company to come through over the course of the next few quarters?
Okay. With respect to the order book, right now, as on 1st of April, our order book stands at 19,500 crores. And I think a cumulative total of this, as we realize these orders and get fresh orders, we will continue to have a figure of about 20,000 crores on average for the next 3 years. If you take the defense sector, and especially in our field, I would say that a block year of 3 years is more a better parameter than on a year with respect to order books. And the current order also is realizable in 4 to 5 years. That is the typical time frame for most of their orders that we do in weapon systems.
All right.
And coming to the breakdown, like what you said, we look at, we make anti-tank guided missiles, then we make a series of SAMs, surface-to-air missiles, and then we make other missiles, so air-to-air missiles and some more missiles. So these are the broad categories. So like what you said about the percentage of it, it is based on the combination of these orders that we have our profit margins.
So at the moment, you've said that your order book is around 19,000 odd crores. You're expecting to average your order book to stay at around the 20,000 crore mark over the next few years on an annual basis. So does the component of the order book change based on order to order? At the moment, what is the majority? Is it anti-tank missiles? Is it surface-to-air missiles? So if you could give us a rough ratio of this particular order book at the moment.
At the moment, we would say about 45%, 40-45% is SAMs, 30-35% is the ATGMs, and then the remaining is a combination of the AAMs and other missiles which we do.
Right. So among your major products, and I'm assuming it's SAMs and anti-tank missiles, from the day of you starting the execution till the day that you deliver, sir, roughly on an average, how long does it take in terms of some of your major, product range?
Yeah, typically let's take on something like SAMs and beyond, ATGMs are much smaller missiles, and we've been doing continuously. There, the turnaround time is a little lesser. But otherwise, typically for a missile system, it takes about 18 months is when we start delivery, and the delivery spreads over 4 to 5 years. It's just not the production part of it, but also nobody would like to stockpile things, everything in one go. It has to be paced out as per the requirements. So generally, it is about 4 to 5 years is the timeline for realizing a particular order of a large size.
Right. So naturally, government's indigenization theme has played out in favor of the entire sector. At the moment, with all the indigenization lists that have come out, so how many of these are a part where Bharat Dynamics has provided for? And do you think that there could be a further scope in which many more products or for that matter, many other parts that still have a scope to be included in the upcoming indigenization list going forward?
That's right. The part of the PIL list that the government has been publishing, it is primarily based on our manufacturing capabilities and what are the products that we are assuring the government that you need not import from a particular period of time. And that list is growing consistently, and you have seen that the fifth list also has been given by the government. And I could say that there's a substantial amount of contribution of BDL to that list. We are consistently giving more and more products which are made in India now.
All right. So the final question then is with respect to the expectation of order flow. Again, the first 2 quarters, I reckon, would be we would have seen a little bit of disruption in order flows because, of course, we were still waiting for the new government to form. Now that we have the incumbent back in power and they have a good majority when it comes to cabinet, there is an expectation that there won't be too much of a problem with respect to further ordering. My question then is that in terms of order flows, what can we expect in perhaps the second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, in terms of, one, the requirement of the government and what you anticipate personally?
Yeah, like what you said, it's a very good sign for all of us with the kind of stable government that is coming in. And the defense sector generally is quite insulated into these aspects, but it's a very good positive sign. And what we see is a lot of programs have come to the RFP stage, and they are under consideration. And as soon as the government comes into being, we will have these orders flowing to us. So there's going to be quite a number of orders we are looking forward for this financial year. But like I said, if you look at the average, it would be about 20,000 in a block year of 3 years.
All right, so we leave it at that. Thank you so much for taking the time out and speaking to us here on NDTV Profit.
Thank you very much.